Hey guys, it's Kay from KS Anonymous, and I am back today with another episode of r/Tales from Retail. Lady doesn't trust the process. So I work in the paint department of a store that really likes the color orange, and thus I have a few stories. This one happened about 2 months ago when a woman came in to get some paint. Now, whenever I mix paint, I tell customers that it'll take a few minutes, like 5 to 6 depending on the order. Most people go do other shopping in the meantime, but some choose to wait nearby. Well, this woman chose to wait at the counter. It was near closing time, so she was my only customer. In case you didn't know the process for mixing paint, it's simple. The machine shoots the amount of whatever colors are required to achieve the color you want, and then we shake it in order to get it mixed together. Sometimes colors you wouldn't expect go into the paint to achieve the end result. For example, green, black, and yellow might give you a blue. I don't remember the color this lady wanted, so let's say it was green. The woman was standing at the counter, which gives a full view of the mixing process. Her paint needed some green, but also a few other colors. The woman sees purple go into the paint can and immediately starts freaking out about me making the wrong color. I explained that her color will be correct once I shake the paint, but she didn't want to hear it. She then walked out of the store without her paint after complaining about how she didn't have time for this. I shook the paint and guess what? It was her green. I love how she couldn't even wait to find out if it did turn that color. I don't understand why you would go through the whole process of having someone get it started and them assuring you, no, it really will turn out right. Like, I would have stuck around to find out if I was wrong, and then if I wasn't, I probably would have complained, but really? Paper man. On mobile. Sorry about formatting. So, I worked in an office supply store. We were having a sale on printer paper. You could get 3 for the price of 1 for the cheaper paper, or 2 for the price of 1 for the more expensive paper. A few people got confused, but once I showed them the price difference, it cleared up fast. Cast is me, being me, obviously. OM is old man, and CW is coworker. So this guy comes up to my register. I do my normal, polite customer service thing. He has 3 packages of the more expensive paper. I ring him up, and he starts yelling. That's not the right price. The price should be this price. It's a 2-for-1 special. No, it's 3 for 1. That is for the less expensive paper. If you would like the 3-for-1 special, it's the paper in the red packaging. Fine, I'll get that. Would you like me to call someone to show you where it is? No, I'm not stupid. He stomps off, and I put the paper in the reshelf area. He comes back with 3 packages of eco-friendly paper. I didn't even know we sold that. Like, he had to have really searched for it, instead of obviously going to the giant display of paper on sale. I braced myself for another argument. Sir, I'm so sorry, but this is the eco-friendly paper. It's not on sale. But it has the red packaging. Sir, this packaging says eco-friendly. This is ridiculous. He grabs the paper and storms off again. I hear him immediately go to the register behind me and have the exact same conversation with my coworker. I was already so mad because my coworker is younger and he immediately started berating and talking down to her. I hear him stomp off and radio another sales associate to help him find the right paper. Not like it doesn't have a giant gosh dang sign on it in the center of the store. Finally, the guy comes back with the right paper. I ring him up as he complains. This is just a store trying to take advantage of its customers. I'm sure that's not the case, sir. You're just too stupid to read. Oh, yes, it is. It's called a bait and switch. Do you know what a bait and switch is, sweetheart? As a matter of fact, I do. I gave him my best customer service smile to stop myself from punching him as he walked out. And it wasn't even a bait and switch. He ended up paying less for the 3 packets of paper than if he got the 2 more expensive packets. TLDR, stupid guy can't read signs about a sale about paper. brings every kind of paper we sell to my register except for the right one, tries to explain to me what a bait and switch is. Now, I get that older generations do technically have some more wisdom. They've been on the planet longer. They've seen things. But this assumption that everyone who's doing their job is just kind of stupider, dumber, whatever the word is, than them, that they have to explain things in a condescending manner. Just, I don't get why that seems to be a trend. We don't sell sangria, sir. Yes, you do. Get your manager. Okay, so this happened yesterday, and I honestly still can't believe the way this guy spoke to me. Okay, so lockdown 2020. Not everyone's back to work yet, and it was an especially hot and beautiful day here in Redacted, so our store was busy as we're allowed to have it. Everyone's buying burgers and booze for barbecues, etc., etc. I've already had enough of people speaking to me like garbage today, and I'm cutting through the wine aisle when someone stops me. The cast, me, yours truly, A, the rather unpleasant customer, and SM, my lovely section manager. Excuse me, where's your sangria? We don't do sangria, unfortunately. Well, if you were to have it, where would it be? Me, guessing, and gestures to shelves. Over there somewhere, probably. Probably? Probably or definitely, darling. I don't know because we don't do it. He continues looking. I know we did it a couple of years ago, but I don't think we're doing it anymore, unfortunately. You do it. Not for a while, sorry. You know what? Gonna just go get me someone who actually does know where the sangria is. Me completely drops the nice guy face and goes to get section manager. A customer would like to know where we keep the sangria. We haven't done sangria in years. I told him that, but he asked me to go get someone who actually knows where it is. I give her that, oh yes, he's a wanker look, and she follows me back to him. Hiya, we actually don't do sangria anymore. He smiles. Oh, no worries. Thank you so much for checking. He leaves without another word about it. My eye twitched in fury. I don't understand people. That's all I have for this. Okay. Dislocated my shoulder to make a point. I've been working at a chain grocery store for almost 2 years, and this happened June of 2019, but I only remembered yesterday talking to my mom about working as a cashier. I thought this would be a funny story to share here. At the time, I was a full-time cashier and well-liked by my coworkers and most customers. I am known at work for being goofy, and I usually have a good story. I had dislocated my shoulder the first time at work, but it wasn't a full dislocation, so I just tucked it in my apron and carried on one-handed. I am nearly as fast one-handed as two. The next day, I finished the job by reaching too far around something, and it popped out, and I had to push it back in. After that, it came out a few times, and I just put it back. This became pretty normal, so it isn't nearly as painful now, but still not fun. So this day I was on till and warned my boss I dislocated it again at home and would have to be careful with it, but I can still do my job. She knows me well enough that she isn't all that worried about me. A lady and her husband put their things on the belt, one of which is a big box of chicken breasts that I knew I shouldn't try to lift. I started ringing in their items and tried to make pleasant conversation. She was ignoring me and her husband was taking a phone call. I just continued thinking they were preoccupied. When I finally got to the box, I said, "I'm sorry, miss, but I hurt my arm and can't lift the box of chicken breast. She cut me off before I could finish. Just do your job, she snapped. I tried to explain what had happened, but she kept arguing. Apparently, one of the other cashiers heard what was going on and called my boss down from the office. She came to the till next to me and asked, "Is there a problem here?" "Yes, your cashier is refusing to do her job. Tell her to do her job. I'm not paying for her to be lazy and ask me to do her job." "Okay, lady." My boss started talking about how she needs to not talk to her staff like that, and she tried explaining why I can't lift it. I turned to my boss and said, "It's fine, watch this." I turned back to the customer and smiled. I picked up the box in a kind of weird angle to make sure I dislocate it, and put the box on the other side of the till. I looked her dead in the eye, rested my elbow on the register, lined it up, and put it back in with my other hand. It made a loud pop sound. She turned white and walked out of the store. I assumed to vomit or hide, but her husband stayed. I didn't even notice that he finished his call just before I lifted the box. He came over and asked if I was all right. I said I was fine and asked how he was paying with a big grin on my face. He paid and left smiling pretty big himself. I have a funny feeling this is a pretty regular occurrence for her. I don't think I could try to endure any sort of pain just to prove a point. I'm just really glad that I don't have joints that pop out that easily. Cannot handle that. Woman clearly thinks she's in another supermarket, but persists. I work in a supermarket, and late one night, a lady and her friend come into the store. The friend isn't important, she didn't say anything pretty much the whole time. So, to set the scene, I'm in the canned vegetables.
Where's the okra?
In the fruit and veg department.
No, it comes in a jar, or a can.
I haven't seen that before. I'm pretty sure we don't have it. I take a quick look at canned veggies. Nope, they aren't here, but they might be with the pickles down there. I point to the pickles. She sighs in disgust and starts walking down to the pickles with her friend. She walks past me, but doesn't address me. I overhear her say this to her friend.
You know what? I'll just look for them frozen.
She walks right past the frozen vegetables, and I knew she was going to come back and ask me where the frozen okra is. Lo and behold, she comes back.
Where did your open freezer in the middle of the aisle go?
Open freezer?
Yeah, you used to have an open freezer down there.
She starts to get very impatient. We have never had an open freezer down there.
Yes, you did. I would know. I come in every week for years. How long have you been here?
4 years, ma'am. You sure you're not thinking about our other store that is close by? That store has an open freezer.
No, I never go to that store because this store is right around the corner from my house.
She keeps going in circles until her friend says, maybe we are in the wrong store. And the woman gets all frustrated and complies. Then they leave. The end. TLDR, woman comes in, asks about a freezer we have never had, and accuses me of being a new worker. I've been working there for 4 years. I always think it's awkward when people think you're new when you're not. I've had people tell me oh my gosh, it's so nice. Are you new? I just never see you. And I'm like, dude, I've worked here since forever. I've been here for so many years. I just work more in the background. You're new. I know that you're new. I don't know okay. There were also somewhat funny comments on this one in particular, so I thought I would share.
Where did your open freezer in the middle of the aisle go?
It was called home. Solemn look. Show a little respect. It was a terrible day for the whole store. We held a celebration of its cold life an hour before close that day. He was cremated, but if you'd like to pay your respects, there's a small memorial in the back room. And a sign-up sheet for donations to his family. LOL, we actually called those coffin cases for open freezers 20 years ago. Still do, I believe. Pay it forward. This isn't going to be one of those angry posts today. This is what made me almost cry today. I know my customer almost did too. A woman was checking out, but unsure if she had enough for all of her groceries. She put the less important ones in the back edge off the conveyor. At the end, sure enough, not enough. The gentleman behind her noticed and told her he would pay for those. She was almost crying, protesting, but he was firm about doing it. Then I was starting to run her gift card, which she was using for part payment, and the gentleman told her that he would take care of everything. He then asked me to continue scanning. I canceled the gift card charge and ran it all through. It was quite a large amount, but he didn't even blink. He just said that he liked looking out for people. When she found out that I didn't even put part of it on the gift card, the first customer was in tears. She told us she would send it to a friend on the reservation who was hard up for food. Cheers to a true gentleman who understood and lives by the idea of treating everyone you meet like a neighbor. That just made me really happy when I came across it. I feel like it's definitely kind of a humans being bros moment, but it was hiding in r/Tales from Retail, so I just had to share with you guys. It was very sweet. Anyway, that is going to wrap up today's video. If you enjoyed it, go ahead and drop a like and let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Really quickly, I'd like to thank my patrons. Up on the screen, you should see my face palmers. and my crazy K's. Thank you all so much for supporting me in that way. If you're interested in becoming a patron, checking out the original posts from today's video, or sending me an email for possible inclusion in a future video, all of that information is in the description box, so be sure to check it out. And I'll talk to you in my next video. Bye!